We are trying to set up this broadcast live system on few social media outlets. There are so many people out there, and we're willing to let everyone enjoy as much as we can from what that we have to give and to share to the world. In the last few weeks I was talking a lot about this issue of Shlom Bayit and healthy relationship. Now, it's not so easy for many people to understand what it means to really have Shlom Bayit and what it's all about. People are being misguided in many ways, and people are working in very bent and twisted ways to achieve Shlom Bayit, and basing their thoughts and their way of thinking on different people's opinion, on different methods, on books, on ideas, on like words of despair. Like, I remember that many years ago, like, let's say really in the early days of my relationship with my wife, so I remember that we were arguing and we had some fights and whatever, and I remember that once I consulted with my father, I spoke with him, and he told me, sometimes you need to be hard, sometimes you need to tell her this, and like, it was 100% mistake, and like, it came out from my father's mouth. So like, in moments of despair, in moments of not understanding what you should do, so like, you can bite that bait, you can just like buy that nonsense and follow it, but like, it's wrong to be hard on my wife, to like tell her what she did. Like, it's not the army, even though we met in the army. It's I'm not her commander, even though I was her commander in the army. But it's a joke. Relationship is based on relationship, on conversation. Now, the thing is much deeper, because really when you go and you try to open gates of communication, to open doors in conversation, doors of patience and understanding, listening and caring and thinking about what she said and going with it somewhere. And also from the other side, women that are talking to their husbands and trying to understand, where is he coming from? Like, really, where is he coming from? Like, maybe there is some kind of pressure, maybe there are things that are terrifying him that he doesn't know how to handle with. And like, if you wouldn't speak, if you wouldn't listen, if you wouldn't try, if you wouldn't work on it, that it will work, it will never work. If you wouldn't try to listen and to figure out what in his voice, in her voice, what is being expressed here, what is coming out to the light here. Not only the words, oh, he told me this, he told me that, she said this, she said, no. Try to understand what's really going on. What's really going on? Why she is so terrified? Why she's refusing? Why she's so hurt? Why is she so scared? When you pay attention to that, so by that you're opening the opportunity for your partner to express his thoughts, his emotions. You give him the confidence to be who he is and to express himself, and then his light, her light, their light will shine and will bless you. Now, people are suffering from poverty, from lack of money. People are suffering from illnesses, from all kinds of sorrow, pains, challenges, difficulties. And it's written that the Creator couldn't find a better vessel, a vessel that will fit more to contain the blessing in the house, except of peace. לא מצא הקדוש ברוך הוא כלי מחזיק ברכה, אלא השלום. Peace, that's the vessel. Now, you don't have blessing, it's because you don't have peace. Now, peace is something that should come from your side. If you're a man, if you're a woman, you should do whatever you should do from your side to bring peace. How peace is coming? In conversations, in negotiations, in compromising, in understanding the other side, and trying to figure out what's going on with him. And in the end of the day, in the end of that process, you will figure out that you were totally blind and that you ignored things that were so important and so precious in the eyes of your partner. Now, before reaching out to the soul of your partner and letting him be who he is blocking and hiding himself like a turtle under his shell, like hiding in his own bubble, in his own darkness, and being so scared and terrified to be. And we don't want that, because the peace is a blessing, because that we're letting each other be who we are, because that we're opening gates of understanding and confidence to each other to express the light that the Creator treasured inside of us. And then by that, the blessing will be between us and we'll have peace and Shekhinah. Now, in situations that you're trying for years to talk to him and he's not listening, for situations that you're trying to convince her to do certain things and for years she doesn't want, try to take responsibility on this thing from your side. Try to see what are you missing, in what you were wrong. What was the thing that you missed? Maybe a few years ago she was still talking about it. Maybe she's mentioning it every time. As long as we're trying to achieve things for ourselves, as long as we're still selfish, we cannot see the light of Hashem. We cannot see the light of the Creator that is shining through our soulmates, through our partners. We cannot. We just don't recognize this light. Why? Because we are self-centered, because we're selfish, because we're busy in receiving and taking for ourselves. And while you're trying to take for yourself, you cannot receive the light of Hashem. As long as you are trying to take something in power, in force, you cannot achieve it. And especially in this thing that is the intimate relationship, the private and very holy time that a couple is supposed to be together. And in that situation, it's the most important thing in the world that people won't do things for themselves to satisfy their own will. Because when you're trying to satisfy yourself and to make yourself pleasured and satisfied, you're losing your partner. In that moment, you just lose your partner. Because that mitzvah, that obligation that we have from Hashem that wrote to us in the Bible, that we are committed to each other and that partners must be with each other, and man is obligated to be with his wife, and the woman, she should be with her husband. All those things are bringing us to a place of spiritual connection, to a very, very deep bonding. And when in that place we are reflecting our selfish will, we are losing touch, we're losing connection with our partners, with our soulmates. Never, ever, ever, never to do anything in force. Ever, 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 never. Never. And not even in a gentle way, not even to convince, and not just a little bit, and not just to try and to convince and to push in a way. No, that's not Hashem's will. That's not the will of the Creator. The will of the Creator is that that holy time will be dedicated for love. For love. For love. It's a very gentle topic, and you cannot talk about it much. But that is the moment to express how much you care, and that's the moment to express how much you love, and not to try to take love or lust or pleasure to yourself. This is something very, very wrong, very twisted. And I spoke about it once, and many people lost their head after I was explaining this topic on how important it is never to force, never, ever, ever to force, in no way, in no aspect, in no situation, no matter how much pressure you have and how much like confusions you have and how weak you are. I don't know, like all that nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. If you are not willing to work on yourself to become a human being, a caring person, a loving person, so what do you want? What do you want? Like you married and you have someone that loves you, someone that wants to share his life with you, and he wants to give you, and you want to take it. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's very, very wrong. The only way, and it's the right way, and it's the way of our ancestors, the holy way, is only when both of them are happy and satisfied to be together. Only then, with a happy heart, and if not, if still there are barriers, if still there are things that are holding you back, or him or her, so it's time to work on those things and to take responsibility on it, and to try to work on the relationship, that it will be a nice relationship, that people will enjoy living their lives together, to come to deep understandings, and to be able to stand the rebuke and to listen to what your partner, your soulmate have to tell you, and what he feels, what she feels about you, about your will, about your desires, about your thoughts, about your passion, about whatever. Open yourself to learn. Want to learn. You should want to learn. We should all want to learn. We should all want to expand our understanding and to grow spiritually and to find out the truth. And if the truth is demanding us to change, so that's supposed to be our joy, to change for Hashem, to change for the good, to change and to make the world a better place. And if you will change, so your life will change, and you'll see the blessing of Hashem in your house and in your vine and in your storage and in your store and in your children, in your health. You'll see the light of Hashem, the blessing, the peace coming and filling you from inside, filling and healing you from within. I have much more to say, but we will keep it for another time. May the blessing of Hashem, the real blessing of Shalom Amiti, will come to your places, to your houses, to your life, to your love life, and live life of love and peace and harmony, respect and understanding, sensitivity to each other. And even if it's hard, and even if it will take years, it's something to work on. It's worth it to work on it and to sacrifice and to put a lot of time on it, to build it, that in the end your partner will be able to testify on you that you were a good friend, that you were a loving and kind person, and that they're happy to be your partner. Thank you. May Hashem bless us all together. Amen.